Blessings and greetings. Greetings and blessings, blessed souls. We're alive because we want to stay alive in Torah Chaim, instructions of life, Torah Chesed, instructions of kindness, Torah Rachamim, instructions of mercies. This is now Secular by Design, Part 4. This is part of my ongoing humble effort to promote a book which I think should be read by every person who can read English and access this book. It's called Secular by Design, A Philosophy of Noahide Laws and Observances by Mr. Alan W. Cecil. I heartily recommend you pick it up, which you can pick up from Amazon.com. I'm not a salesman, I'm not a spokesman for Mr. Cecil, as much as he has given me permission to read segments and maybe add a little nugget or two of commentary by myself. Page 13 from the overview reads as follows. Intellectuals in Western culture deal with a diverse range of subjects from politics, economics, religion, and history to the arts and entertainment. Intellectuals have an important function in our society as the supporters, expounders, and critics of education, government, business, and culture. Although in America the intellectual, is most associated with higher academics, historian Richard Hofstadter presented a broader concept based on the traditional meaning of intellectuals, asking, what separates the intellectual from the merely intelligent individual? We all have known intelligent people who, when faced with an abstract problem or idea, a moral dilemma, or a political or ideological choice, never seem to get it. Despite their obvious intelligence, no matter how well you explained a position, what facts you presented, or how you defined your argument, they are unable to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And in his Pulitzer Prize-winning book Anti-Intellectualism in American Life, Hofstadter explained the difference between intelligent and being intellectual. According to Hofstadter's definition, intelligent people know the rules and know how to play the game. They may demonstrate great aptitude for learning, soaking up facts like a sponge, and they can be clever in their dealings with men. There is, however, something inflexible in their way of thinking, and they are unable to think outside the box, as the cliche goes. The intellectual, however, not only questions the rules, but questions who made the rules, and questions why we should play the game in the first place. The intellectual is able to take facts and reassemble them into new ideas and concepts, not to simply play by the rules. For if the rules are faulty and the game is fixed, the intellectual understands that new rules are called for. So this is a very probing statement that Mr. Cecil starts his book off. Now, I myself, when I think of the idea of thinking outside the box, there's one box we can't think out of, blessed souls, and that's the universe, which, so to speak, contains every living fiber and molecule and atom and subatomic structure that exists in the universe. And I don't recall when this concept came up of thinking outside the box. Was it from a movie, a philosophy? It came from the intelligentsia? I'm not sure. But as I understand it, the box I have to think out of is not the mass box that many people are trapped in, but my own personal box. Meaning, am I willing to go beyond my own subjective interpretation of any given situation? And when human beings get together to each share their subjective perspective, even on matters of objectivity, hopefully, like say, who created the world, which we hopefully will come to an objective perspective the Creator did, we can come to an elevation of all our consciousness. Now, for those who are inflexible in their way of thinking, again, I challenge you, blessed souls, to consider this. Is the inflexibility because of lack of intellectual acuity? Sometimes maybe yes. Many times no. Why? Because some people are driven, whether consciously or subconsciously, by what they truly desire, whether it be a desire towards the common good or a desire for their very own good to the exclusion of the good of others. And many times, unfortunately, as we've seen through and read about in the history of the human family experience, many times individuals have sought their individual good while promoting it in the name of a public good and reaching for what we know as a bechein zol, a cheap outcome or result, which has not only ultimately caused damage to themselves, but has inflicted tremendous damage upon the particular human societies they lived in, and in certain circumstances, the damage they caused inflicted damage upon other societies, even across the ocean. With that being said, we'll sign off with, again, I wholeheartedly encourage each and every one of you to check out Secular by Design by Mr. Alan W. Cecil, A Philosophy of Noahide Laws and Observances, Ahava Chad, One Love, Gar Lechad, One Des Mikulanu, B'darki Shalom, Darki Noam, in a peaceful and pleasant way. Lahamshich, the beginning of Be'ez Hashem Yisparech.